Welcome back, y'all, to Large Family Homestead. My name is Brooke, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about what you can plant in August in Texas. I know it's been super hot lately, but the good news is that the heat, for a lot of us in Texas, will probably break this month and it'll start to cool off a little bit, right? So this is really like the month where we kick off the fall garden. And even if you are in some of the warmer zones in Texas, there are still things that you can do to start prepping for your fall garden and extend your summer garden. So Texas contains gardening zones 6 through 10, guys. So obviously what I say here is going to vary depending on where you are actually located in the state. For reference, we are in gardening zone 8B. So we're sort of like smack dab in the middle of the Texas garden zone. Some of these things are going to be able to be planted, earlier in some areas, later in others. It really just depends on where you're at. But this is just a general guideline for what you can plant in Texas in August. We're going to start with like vegetables to direct sow outdoors. So this can be planted by seed outside right now in Texas. Bush and pole beans. Both of these can be started right now in Texas for another green bean harvest. So try to pick varieties, especially if you're in some of the cooler areas that are quick maturing, so that you guys can get a harvest before it really starts to cool off in fall. Squash and zucchini can still be planted now, but you will have to pick your varieties wisely again, because you are going to need quick maturing varieties if you want to get that early fall harvest. You want to pick varieties that are ideally like 60 days or less, and you don't want to plant these past like mid-month. So you want to try and get these in now until like mid-August and then stop. Next up is cucumbers. I know. We also had a much smaller cucumber harvest this year than we normally do. It just sort of happened. The heat took a toll on the cucumbers this year. It happens. You can still plant more. We are planning on planting more, but you have to do it right now, early in the month, before the nighttime temperatures drop. Because once the nighttime temperatures drop, you're gonna stop getting a harvest, and eventually they're just gonna die. But right now, if you plant some, you should still be able to get a late summer and early fall harvest off of your cucumbers, especially for those of us here that like to make pickles. So for North and Central Texas, you guys can actually still do corn as well. But again, this is one of those things you really want to do it right now while it's still early August, and not wait until later in the month to do these. So the cucumbers, squash, beans, corn, those are going to be like the top things that you guys need to plant now if you want to get a harvest off of them still this year. Another thing, and I know that people either have a love or a hate relationship with this crop, but let's be real. It just grows really fast here and really easy, and honestly, it's quite pretty. And that's okra. If you guys have ever seen okra flowers before, first of all, gorgeous, but it's really easy to grow here. It loves the heat. So if you guys didn't get any in this year or missed your window, you guys can actually still plant it while we're still in early August, and you will get a harvest. So there's a lot of great options out there. For those of you that don't like the spines, there are spineless options like the Clemson spineless. That would be probably one of my favorite spineless varieties. There's also red okra out there, okay? And not everyone likes it the same way. So if you're like, I don't like okra, try making it a different way. So they have like, you can do fresh, you can do pickled, you can do it in soups. Personally, I don't like mine cooked, so fresh or pickled for me, but it's a really easy crop to grow. So if you're looking to just like get a gardening win under your belt, this is one of the best things that I recommend for new Texas gardeners, because Texas is such a hard growing zone. Yes, it's long, but it's hard. So I do recommend okra as a first time beginner crop because it's just really easy to do here. It loves the heat, it loves the dry weather, and it just likes Texas summers in general. If you guys are planning on having a fall garden this year, which I highly recommend, okay, especially if you're new to growing in Texas, a lot of people here do spring and fall gardens, okay, and they take it easier in summer. There's a few reasons for this. Summer is really hard on crops here, okay? It's very hot, very sunny. Even I don't want to be out in it. And that's another reason, is you don't want to be out in it working in your garden for a lot of people, especially if you're more sensitive to the heat. So a lot of people do just spring and fall gardens. Highly recommend having a fall garden in Texas, even if you like to grow most of the year or all year round. So here's some cool season crops that you guys can start inside your house with a grow light and move them out in September. I wouldn't move these out before September in probably anywhere in Texas because it's just so hot. And if you're going to move them out like in early September, you're going to want to pick a shaded spot to move them out. So remember, keep in mind, research your own garden zone and area to determine when exactly you should plant and where you should plant, but this is stuff that you can start inside. So brassicas, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, those kinds of things. If you guys want to have those, you may have had trouble with them in spring. Personally, I think that if you have had trouble with them in spring, try them in fall. Okay, fall's generally easier than spring here. Spring, we have a very short-lived spring season here. Fall is longer, it's cooler for a longer period, and it's generally cooling off, whereas spring is getting warmer, right? So it's getting harder and harder on the plants, where this is going to make it easier and easier. I also find that we have less pest issues in fall, and weeds are generally less of an issue in fall as well. So another thing you guys can do, leafy greens, Swiss chard, kale, spinach, that's one of my favorites, collards, and mustard greens can all be started inside right now and then moved out in September, depending on where you are. Okay, so you may want to move them out earlier or later in the month, depending on what zone you're in. And you may want to put them in a shaded spot or somewhere with a shade cloth. Okay, you guys know how much I highly recommend shade cloths for Texas. They do help a lot. Remember though, inside now, don't move them outside before September. Let's talk about some flowers. And you guys know I'm not a big flower person, but I do like to have a few flowers in the garden for a few reasons. First of all, vegetable pollination is better when you have flowers in your garden, okay? I'm not convinced that you can grow good vegetables without some flowers in your garden, because I have tried that and I have horrible pollination. Horrible. Okay, you got to attract the pollinators somehow. Vegetable flowers don't cut it. Okay, they don't really feed the pollinators that well, so you need something to feed the pollinators and bring them in. And there are some really just easy flowers to grow that will bring in lots of pollinators. Also, we have honeybees, and I'm very big on making sure that our bees do have food sources, so I like to have a few flowers. You can still direct sow zinnias, sunflowers, marigolds, nasturtiums, and Texas wildflowers like bluebonnets. Now, real quick, thinking about 2027, guys. Bluebonnets will not sprout and bloom in fall, okay? But you want to plant them in fall. You don't want to plant them in spring, okay? I've seen way more people have success with bluebonnets by planting them in fall than in spring. They're going to overwinter in the ground. They have this really hard shell on the seed that's really hard to get them to germinate. So I highly recommend planting them in fall. Let them sit all winter in the ground, and they should come up in spring. I have seen the most success that way with bluebonnets. And if you guys believe the myth that you cannot pick bluebonnets, that is false. You can also collect seeds from the side of the road. Just don't be excessive with it if you guys are going to pick bluebonnets or collect seeds off the side of the road, okay? Because we want to make sure that they're still growing in that area. We don't want to take all the seeds. We want them to still be spreading in those areas where they are growing. But you can pick bluebonnets off the side of the road. It's not illegal, and you can actually collect seeds off the side of the road as well. Obviously, we're way past the season for either of those things, but it's not a myth. You guys can do it. So if you don't have seeds, maybe next year when you guys see them and the flowers are going away, you can go out and you can get some of the seed pods off. Bluebonnets also do have other benefits. So because they're part of the legume family, like beans, peas, and those kinds of things, they actually are a nitrogen fixer. So they actually feed your soil. So highly beneficial to your garden for my Texas people. And why not show a little Texas pride by putting some bluebonnets in your garden? So those are things that can be planted, direct sowed, by seed right now. Consider your zone, but right now. As far as nursery transplants go, mums, asters, cosmos, all good nursery transplants right now. So personally with the nasturtiums, by the way, and I want to jump back to this real quick. With the nasturtiums, I will tell you guys that they were a very good pest magnet. So for anyone who doesn't know, we have an organic garden, right? And the nasturtiums were actually a really good pest magnet. So instead of eating my vegetables, they actually eat my flowers. So, which I would rather them eat. So that actually worked out really well. So if you guys have plants that you generally struggle with pests on, maybe try planting those not right near them, but nearby, and see if it makes a difference. I also find that if you struggle with hornworms, I feel like a lot of people are going to struggle with hornworms around this time of the year. They always get really bad in August. Marigolds are a good deterrent. I have noticed a huge difference if I plant marigolds with my tomatoes and peppers. And if you guys are having issues now with hornworms, get transplants. Don't start them by seed because you need faster blooms. So get some transplants and put them in. But otherwise, guys, marigolds do really help. If they're not helping enough, BT is a good spray for you guys to use. So I'll link BT down there if you guys can find it, and I'll link my the shade cloths that I use down there if you guys want to grab them. But BT is an organic, and it will take care of hornworms. So let me know if you all have any questions down in the comments. Also, feel free to share what garden zone you guys are in and what you're planning on planting for the end of summer and fall. We would like to know. Also, if you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new and you made it to the end of the video, guys, Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you can keep seeing content like this. Bye.